the winds of change are slowly condensing into a hurricane, courtesy of DC's new co-CEO, James Gunn. Fans have been vocal about their thoughts on James's treatment of Earth's mightiest heroes. We knew the changes would be pretty major. Still, after Henry Cavill's sudden exit from the cinematic universe, it seems as though we need a new dawn of justice. Let's dive in on all the drama regarding the soup's emphatic exit. First up, fans demand James Gunn's firing after Henry Cavill exit. After gunning down the Man of Steel franchise out of the DCEU with Henry Cavill's departure, DC's new boss has quite definitely rubbed the fans the wrong way. Henry Cavill publicly announced earlier that we'd seen the last of him donning the red cape. Fans were reaching for the tissues as Henry continued his farewell, saying that the mantle of Superman still lives on. As he wished Peter Safran and James Gunn a hearty best of luck, we are still digesting the thought of a younger version of Soups looking to replace our huckster. Fans took to Twitter with the trend #FireJamesGunn trending alongside #BoycottWB. One user by the name of 2am Void tweeted saying, "This is why you don't trust Hollywood." It wasn't Henry's exit that really ticked off the fan base, but the way he left. If there's one hit to take away from the critically acclaimed Black Adam, it is Henry Cavill's cameo at the end of the film. The scene reignited the hope Zack Snyder's Justice League left us with. The actors were never the problem in DC's failure to keep up with the who's who in cinematic universes. It was nothing less than a rug pull, shattering the dreams of many who protested to have their Superman back. Henry has supposedly left the role of Geralt in his successful portrayal in The Witcher. But why the sudden change of plans from DC's boss? Was it strictly business or a personal vendetta? Up next, James Gunn shuts down claims saying that he hates Henry. The fandom started speculating about the reason behind Henry's exit. We all know how enthusiastic the actor was about the role. Henry had all the physical and technical attributes to make him the perfect fit for the mantle of Clark Kent. Fans wasted no time in speculating that there might have been a falling out between Henry and the authorities at Warner Brothers, sugar-coated to look like nothing ever happened, though James was having none of the accusations, shutting down all rumors claiming that he has something personal against Henry. He replied to a fan saying that the rumors were complete falsehoods. This is to put it quite lightly. James's reply was rather colorful to the user @Den of Nerds. Gunn emphasized how the user was still living in his mom's basement. Ouch. James later added that Superman's involvement in the franchise was a huge priority. Looks like James took the question a bit too personally. We have seen Gunn be on the receiving end of pulling the plug and have always been pro-director. It would be hypocritical of him to give Cavill the same treatment without having an ounce of remorse. Henry was a good sport about the decision, saying that Safran had a universe to build. The reboot comes out of necessity, where Marvel was excelling at etching complex characters and tying captivating storylines. DC was dazed with where to begin. After the dust settles down, you're left wondering what really went wrong with Henry Cavill's rendition of Superman. Now let's look at where it all went wrong. Henry Cavill's portrayal of Kal-El received a mixed buzz from fanatics, with the character's inception in Man of Steel continuing to dawn of justice. The darker, grittier version of Soup's storytelling was a breath of fresh air, with fans awaiting what's next for the superhero after he defeated the almighty Zod. The movie was supposed to be the platform for Superman's epic return back to the franchise after dying in his battle with Doomsday. Instead, with the very first few frames of the movie, we were greeted with a terribly CGI'd Henry Cavill and a half-baked storyline. The movie achieved an abysmal reception, marking the writing on the wall for the Snyderverse. Even the naysayers of the Snyderverse couldn't help but agree that Henry's rendition of the character was one of the biggest highlights of the franchise. After Justice League, DC struggled to find a new direction for the character. With the build-up to Black Adam, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson brushed the spoiler territory, teasing a potential clash with the Man of Steel. Guess he only jinxed it by saying that the hierarchy of power in the DC universe was about to change. After confirming Henry Cavill's plans as the face of Gunn's cinematic universe heading forward, it was indeed all for nothing. There is no denying Henry's presence will be greatly missed, and as of now, we can only thank him for his contributions and for being our light of hope for the past decade. Bringing to you, will the DCU's new Superman be in the Batman's universe? As we bid farewell to Henry's Superman, it is now time to set our sights on the future. Gunn has publicly revealed that we will see a younger version of the superhero. Glancing back to 2021, we saw a successful reboot of another another major name in DC. The Batman, played by Robert Pattinson, gave us a younger, more brooding version of Bruce Wayne. Considering James Gunn's future plans for Supes, merging the Reeves-verse wouldn't be such a bad idea if you really think about it. Is there any truth to this speculation? Sadly, James has dismissed any rumor pointing towards Pattinson being included in his 10-year plan for the cinematic universe. Matt Reeves showed his support for this decision by replying to James's tweet, saying he liked the source on James's confirmation. If you really think about it, the decision is quite smart. It is better to let Matt Reeves run with his own separate vision for Batman. If there's one thing DC has excelled at, is its standalone franchises. A big example is the Christopher Nolan trilogy. As for Superman, fans are ecstatic to see what James Gunn has in store for us. James Gunn has revealed that the DCEU will be heavily focused on the legendary Justice League Unlimited series alongside Youth Justice. Moving on, questions and more questions. James Gunn may be doing his best Riddler impression, cause as of now, all we're seeing are question marks when it comes to Henry Cavill's mantle as Superman. Firstly, what will happen to his cameo in the upcoming The Flash movie? According to sources, Henry was set to make a prolific cameo in the star-studded movie that will now likely be the catalyst for James Gunn's cinematic reboot of the franchise. New reports are claiming that the cameo has been cut from the movie. It will, however, feature some old faces and some new ones. We're expected to see the likes of Faora, General Zod, and Supergirl, not to mention Michael Keaton returning to play Bruce Wayne again. With Henry Cavill's swan song as Superman now set in Kryptonite, we may see the same thing happening with Sasha Calle's take on Supergirl finishing before it ever really started. Come on, Henry, you're too good to be let go that easily. And God forbid the neighbors get to you. Marvel may sign him just to take a dig at DC. Which character James would entrust Henry with besides Superman is still shrouded in ambiguity. We may, however, see him coming back to play a different version of the Man of Steel. There have been rumors of James tailoring a possible Kingdom Come storyline as his universe's endgame. Henry would fit perfectly as an older, retired Supes. We'll take anything at this point, DC. Let's take a look at jumping ship. Let's hold our horses for a while before we dream a little too much. As a two-faced man once said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Henry's future can look entirely different in the coming years. That's if Marvel decides to step in and pursue Henry's signature. Backed by giants such as Disney, there's no denying Disney has the cash to give Henry a multi-million-dollar deal and get him on board. It would be lucrative business as Marvel is still etching the foundation for their characters leading up to decisive phases and slates in the future. Considering the myriad of interesting characters and side characters, it's not far-fetched to imagine Henry Cavill getting on board the enemy ship. Suppose the reports are true and Henry did leave The Witcher to play Superman. In that case, it's difficult to think Henry Cavill wouldn't be anything other than furious at James Gunn's sudden change of plans with his plans for Superman. Let's say the worst happens and Marvel successfully gets Henry's signature. Which character can we see him play? Conveniently, Marvel has the position of Captain Britain readily available for Henry to play. If we brainstorm more, the role of Hyperion, also known as Marvel's Superman, is a likely candidate for Cavill's plan. Needless to say, Cavill's future seems secure considering the actor's sheer acting prowess. Finally, Henry Cavill's plans with The Witcher. From one major impact to another, Henry's portrayal of Geralt was nothing less than spectacular. The man is a chameleon, oozing versatility. Even though Henry is set to come back to the series in its third installment, he is set to be replaced by Liam Hemsworth for Season 4. After announcing his departure from the franchise, Henry joyously announced his return to play Superman, which begs the question, will we be seeing Henry return to the video game adaptation following his exit from DC? The internet was set ablaze, memeing Liam Hemsworth about not being able to fill the shoes Henry left for the character. His return would not only redeem the series, but also mark his importance amongst Hollywood's greats. What can we say? Some people are just born to play specific roles, and we just can't get over the ones Henry has left for us. As for his future in the superhero genre, we're all setting our sights on the Superman crest, symbolizing hope. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think the future has in store for Henry Cavill? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.